my course is on population reproductive health. And, what? I was going the wrong way, sorry. So, just an overview of my course. This comes from the course description. Just to understand that I wanted to look at population reproductive health as more of like a human rights kind of undertone, and so everything that we do is going to have that interwoven into all the course materials, the experience itself, and hopefully their response and the things that they turn in. So one important thing about this course, this is a new course design, and we are going to be working with something called the Stork's Nest, which is an organization that is in Tuscaloosa. It's run in conjunction with a graduate chapter sorority here. These are some pictures from the setup. It's at a local church, and so one of the main objectives to participants that come into the Stork's Nest, they're pregnant women and their significant other, or sometimes even their grandparents will come with them to the classes. So they take classes, and what happens is they take the classes, and for every class they take and for every doctor's appointment they go to, they get points, and they can use those points to shop in the store to get things that they may need for their baby. So some of the important student learning outcomes are that students are going to learn about different public health programming that's related to reproductive health, and they're going to look at different demographic, behavioral, and environmental factors associated with those. And they're also going to demonstrate the ability to engage with community on these issues. And then they'll also be evaluating policy. So they'll be looking at what are some of the local, state, and federal policies that are associated with population reproductive health. So I thought about using Kobe's experiential learning cycle in constructing some of the experiences that my students would have. And so I broke it down into those 4 different stages in the learning cycle. And so in that first stage of concrete experience or feeling experiences, they would do reflection. So they would do a pre-reflection about what do they think they're going to learn, what do they think that their experience is going to be working with community, and then they would do a post-reflection afterwards. For reflective observation, we would look at different TED Talks, and again, thinking about population reproductive health, thinking about this human rights approach or perspective, and using this thing called Fishbone Strategy. So this would be where different groups would agree to, I would give them like different options for TED Talks. And so the people who signed up for this specific TED Talk would talk about their thoughts about that TED Talk, and then everybody else would listen. And then they would get a chance to interject their either difference of opinion, or they would be able to say how they thought that the problem was addressed, or different responses they could have. For abstract conceptualization, they would be developing a reproductive health fact sheet for communities, and then again, different communities could be fathers, could be teenagers, it could be just different types of people, but it would have to reflect. They would have to think about those demographics as they set up that fact sheet. They will also be responsible for doing finding like current news articles and reporting that back to their classmates and talking about different issues that are going on in the world and how they're addressed, what are their concerns, how would they address those problems, that kind of thing. And then we'll have course readings. So also, my expectation is as they're having these course readings, they're able to kind of I guess, think about how those readings have impact in the different activities that they're doing. And then for active experimentation, this is where they go to the stork's nest. And the stork's nest is their lesson plans. They have 8 lesson plans that they go through with all the pregnant women and their significant others. And these lesson plans go back from the 80s. So they're very old, they're very outdated. Some of the pictures that are used are very outdated. And for this particular stork's nest, I've been to other stork's nest presentations, whereas some of them may have PowerPoints. This particular stork's nest, they have a flip chart, and they kind of go through it. So bringing them into the 21st century, developing PowerPoint presentations and making some of the images and some of the information more relevant for today's audience. So that's some of the things that they will be doing. And maybe if we have time, we could think about having some of them actually facilitate a lesson plan to the community and then talk about that process. So they'll be doing a lot of peer evaluation on the redevelopment of those lesson plans and possibly the facilitation. So some of the remaining challenges and ongoing questions that I have about this course is that my college doesn't offer undergrad courses. So how do I promote this course to other colleges and other departments to pique their interest in taking the course? And I also, because we don't have a lot of experience with undergrad courses, we don't really have an established capacity size. So how many students should I offer the course to? What's manageable for the amount of work that's going to be done? And then how is this course going to be sustainable for future work with the community? So once we redevelop those lesson plans, are there other things that we can do to work with the stork's nest? Are there other reproductive health organizations that we could possibly partner with? That's it.